Hey, welcome world history. All right, so I have some good news and I also have some really good news. At least I think you'll think it's good news. I've been looking over chapter 16, 14, 13, and 11 through 12 and 10, and I've decided, especially in light of this happening, that we are going to just drop chapter 10. Also, we're going to drop the Atlantic slave trade. So, with that said, those of you who were required to get cards for me, don't worry. It still applies. We'll still review with them. Thank you so much for working so hard with that. But we're going to drop those and move on. So, we're going to look at today review of the Renaissance, the Scientific Revolution, and the Enlightenment. So, fun fact for these three, specific parts of history. You have from March 4th posted in Google Classroom all of the slides. Okay, so if you're unsure of what to look at in your notes or you've lost them or you're struggling to get them from a friend, you can simply go down to Google Classroom and find them. So let's start with making sure you know the meaning of Renaissance, which we should all know it's a rebirth. Why? Because it was a rebirth of a lot of different things. It was a rebirth of learning. So sorry about my computer. I know it's been lagging. It was way worse when I had people coming online, and frankly, I don't know why. And then other people were having similar issues, and then all together it was just a big mess. So, make sure you know the periods of time between them as well. This went roughly from the 1300s to the 1500s, and we're going to center a lot of the Renaissance on Italy. We looked at some powerhouses, Florence and Milan. I'm going to actually, for the remainder of this review, I'm going to start asking you guys questions. So, for example, I may say something like, the meaning of Renaissance literally means, and if you would like to practice review with me, you can just go ahead and pause the video and then state the answer. And that's going to be really good for recall and to build associations and connections. If you don't know the answer to any of the questions that I ask, by the way, write them down, put them on flashcards. I was just talking with my computer study skills and technology class about how one of the best things that you can do for yourself when it comes to studying what you don't know is flashcards. Why? Because they're repetitive, because you can switch the definitions as well as the terms. And moving on, make sure you associate the Medici family with Italy, and that they had a bit of a scuffle going on over this alum with the Ottoman Turks. And as you can see, we haven't talked about this in a while, but make sure that you know that the Turks were expanding their empire and that there was a shortage, and this sharp spike in prices came to Italy. But this family, the Medici family, is going to strike it rich. Not only were they already bankers, but they required some of that alum. So, because of this, they're going to be able to use it for trade. They're going to be able to export it, and essentially, this will really be one of the building blocks to the Vatican fortune through Christendom. Unfortunately, one of the other building blocks is the money that he's going to steal from the poor people to have God forgive their sins. Does anybody remember what the name for taking money and stating that your sins will be forgiven? Martin Luther was not a fan.